Welcome everybody to episode 1 of this Let's Play series. If you didn't see my episode 0, which came before this, was a little bit of a shorter episode. That's where I set up my faction and kind of talked a little bit about how to set up a character, and I kind of played around with the settings to make my character look the way I wanted to. Solua the Iron Halo is the person I created, and she's basically a space paladin. So all we did in the last episode was set up the world, set up the game, make our character, and then make landfall, and we didn't do anything else. So in this episode, we'll start taking a look at the world around us, and it's a weird visual right there with that shadow. And we'll start taking a look at these units, which I was really excited when this expansion was announced and was coming out, but I didn't read very much about it, and it wasn't because I wasn't excited, it was because I kind of wanted to be a little bit surprised. So I haven't looked super far into what all this new stuff is. I have a vague idea. There's some new sort of enemy neutral units. There's some new, obviously this new faction, and there's been a whole heap of updates. Actually, there's patch notes, maybe one of the biggest patch notes I've ever seen from this game that came out, and I was trying to study them, but man, there was a lot to digest in there. So I'm pretty excited about all these changes, and I'm excited to play this new faction. I'm excited to play Assembly again now that they've been buffed a little bit and they look really fun. Some of my favorite things have been nerfed a little bit, which is going to hurt a little bit, but if it's in favor of game balance, then I'm okay with that. So yeah, let's take a look at what I have. So I have Hennepin, my capital city. I've made landfall on, it looks like a continent, which I think I set up in the game. I think I set it to have continents, so we'd have sort of the most balanced kind of gameplay. So we'd have water and land combat. There is a neutral faction. Oh no, this is a this is a city. This is a neutral city, and it looks like from the visuals it's one of mine, so I can probably go and capture that. Now the reason I can see that is because this faction's starting bonus is that I can see further than just, like, I'd normally just be able to see this sort of highlighted area, but I can see all of this shrouded area as well. That's just my starting bonus with this faction. So that's kind of nice. I didn't think it would be that big of a deal, but now I'm kind of seeing that I can kind of plan out my cities earlier than usual, and I can see where this neutral city is that I can go and pick up as soon as I have, it's usually around 40 something influence. I'll be able to pick that up. So if I can get some influence somewhere, which probably won't happen, but other than that, I just have to wait until around turn 8 and I can go pick that up. Let's see, if we switch over to military, we can see there's some, okay, so there's a spawner over here, livestock farms, horrible site of experimentation and butchery filled with mutants. If neglected, the mutants and xenoplague will attack nearby colonies and armies. I've got some forgotten, look like they control this area. And so that I can communicate with them, negotiate, and do quests for them and stuff. Looks like there's some marauders that won't, like, if they're white, it means they won't patrol around. If they're red, it means they will go looking for a fight. So these white ones will stay put until I conquer them. Some more here on some of these landmarks. These I can negotiate with them to leave the site if I have some influence, but I want to save that up for this city first. There's something here, unidentified forces. And then there's a Operation Scrambler. Okay. Exploration site that'll give influence. This is a nice place right here. This has 3 things in it that I would get in one territory. So I might end up settling, let's see, economically I have research. And I can grab, looks like I'll probably end up grabbing food, production, and probably another science. And then, so this city will just make food, make people, support other cities, and then eventually switch over to just making tons of science, especially with this extra bonus here. So, in that regard, we will actually go over and I think we'll take over food first, because I want to grow faster. I like being able to grow faster. Let's see, these are about the same. So I'll probably grab this one first. That way there'll be a road system between these cities once I capture this city. So let's take a look at our units. This is very exciting. So first off, I have a scout. And this is an Oathbound Scryer. I love the model for this unit. Very kind of scouty and creepy looking. This has an entropic shock. Looks like it does entropy damage. Okay. Gift of Precognition. Target friendly unit gains 1 stack of precognition, negating the next direct damage attack to hit it. Whoa. So that would be... Okay, so if something's getting hit with a repeating attack, it would probably only negate the first shot. But if you give this to someone who's going to get hit by 1 big attack, it would negate it. That's pretty cool. Psionic resistance of 4. Arc weakness, that's because it's a machine. Mechanical. All-around awareness, cannot be flanked. It's probably because it's a scout. Farsight, +1 vision range is quite nice. It's a light flying mechanical unit. It is mindless. And it's a seer. I don't know what that means. I know that that's something to do with the Oathbound, but I don't know specifically if seer has some other function. So, okay, so that's a cool scout unit. Okay, so let's take a look at my hero. So my hero's pilfered item. Oh, it tells you what the defense bonus is over here now. That's really nice. So this gives her fast movement and 1 level of stagger resistance. That is perfect for her melee loadout that she has. And +1 armor. That's fantastic. So she has this Volt Pike, which is quite a chunky boy, I gotta say. That's a funny looking weapon. It's like a big hairpin or something. Okay. So she can strike an enemy with an arc-charged pike, high impact stagger, so that's good, so it can knock units out of defense and lower their action points so they don't do as much on the next turn. It's a single action, so it's big damage, but she can only hit once per turn. Bypass all shield, that's normal for melee. And a static bomb, so she's got an AoE 10 damage bomb that does static charge, which I think it either does damage over time or it makes them vulnerable to shock. I can't remember exactly. Nor's line of sight, but it doesn't have any stagger. Okay, because it's not really exploding, it's just sending out electricity. So she's got this Volt Blast, which okay, so so this Volt Pipe gives her the Volt Blast, so she has a ranged shot. Range 5 is not super long, but she's at least got something to hit air or hit something if she can't reach. Pretty big stab here. And then she's got stagger resistance. Status effect resistance is 6. Resistance to being affected by status effects such as burning or stun. Now this looks different, so I must have missed. Yeah, some of these symbols are different from before. These are nice. These are cool to have this more information in general in the tooltips and the UI. Yep, mind control immunity because this is my commander. Resurgence, yep, ruthless killer. Yeah, if she kills someone, she gets another 1 action point once per turn. And she's biological commander, Oathbound light unit. Okay, so here's our Heritor. This is a unit for our secret tech, our class, essentially. This is our race, and this is our class. These guys shoot entropy, and they harvest essence from hitting things with that, and then they can spend it on restoring action points to somebody else. Now, these units are actually pretty good ranged units, so sometimes you don't want to use their turn up on actually boosting somebody else's action points, but you know, our hero would be a good target for that because she's quite powerful. And then these are a little bit squishy. They used to actually do like 11 or 12 damage, and they had to nerf them because they were too strong. You could just spam armies of these guys and win. Yeah, it can hold essence charge up to 3, and it's a cyborg. Okay, so our next unit, let's go into these are our tier 1s. So we have Paladin Aspirants. So they have the hairpins, electric hairpins. These guys look pretty cool. They've got the pike, they've got the blast. They've got a shields up. So they're good at defending. They get 2 extra shield when they're defending. Against all odds, the unit gains 5% evasion for each enemy within 2 hexes of itself. Oh, okay. First strike. This unit's melee overwatch triggers before the target that triggers it acts, unless the unit is flanked. Cool. This is a new... I don't remember there being any first strike in this game. This is a battle suit, technically. Okay, looks just like armor to me, but okay, we'll call it a battle suit. Okay, and nothing else really special about them. 45 health is pretty good, 2 armor. These guys are okay. This is okay. I'm happy with that. And then we start with this Paladin Protector. Okay. I don't like what I'm seeing here. Wow. So now wait a minute. These guys have physical bodies? Because these legs are too long. Look at this, like, this sword looks like those swords you put into, like, fruit cubes, like at a party. And this shield is like a topographical map of like a botanical garden or something. What a strange design. I love it though. So gold and over the top. Okay, what do these guys do? Volt Saber, repeating melee attack. High impact stagger, that's nice. Embolden, all friendly units within a 2-hex radius heal for 15 health. Okay, and lose all psionic status effects. Additionally, tier 1 and 2 units gain heroism until the end of combat, making their attacks deal more damage to higher tier units. And it enters defense mode after this. Wow. That's a heck of a power. This is a melee support unit that heals and buffs and is okay with damage. Not a ton of health though, so we'll have to watch out. This is a tier 2, but not, well, 5 armor actually is pretty good. So we're just to watch out for psionic attacks, because psionic attacks bypass armor. Interesting. And then its defense mode gives itself and adjacent allies 2 shield. Wow, this unit's pretty cool. So this just runs in behind these guys, these melee guys, Paladin aspirants, and just goes into defense mode, giving them buffs. And then if they attack these guys, they're buffed. If they attack this guy, he's pretty tanky, and he can heal everybody up. The downside, of course, to this faction is that it's pretty melee focused, it looks like, so I'll have to dash in. Now, my Heritor units will help with that a little bit, because I've got at least these Siphoners are ranged, and they can do some stuff at range. Like there's a unit later I can get that can harvest essence from enemies and then use it to heal, and it can kind of stay behind and heal up these guys, so that'd be nice. It's got stagger resistance, status effect resistance, psionic resistance, but arc weakness. Interesting, because it's mechanical. This is technically a mechanical infantry, and it's a heavy unit. Wow. Okay. That's really interesting. Battlesuit, heavy infantry, mechanical. Juggernaut, can move through and destroy obstacles. Wow. Large target, so it's easier to hit and it can't take cover. Wow, so this unit is much bigger than I'm thinking it is. It looks just like a guy with bigger legs, but it must be, like, really tall. Okay. Weird. And exposed flanks. Flanking attacks against this unit will ignore up to 2 armor. Okay, so not quite as tanky if he gets too close into the fight. Paladin Protector. Okay. So, what do I want to do with my scout? I think we want to go look for pickups. Can I see those?
Operations available for priming.
No. Unidentified forces. Okay, so we'll switch back to economy. We'll take our scout and we'll just go look. Oh, here's a pickup. Grab that first. Save the forgotten unit, a Serpian, or dismantle and get 44 production. I think I want the Serpian. Serpians are pretty good. And that means I can actually get rid of this scout unit. I can actually use the scout unit instead of keeping it with the army for now. And have a little bit of a stronger army and still have 2 scouts. I'll move you guys up. Move you over to join forces. Cool. And this unit actually has essence related nonsense, so it can yeah, it can store up essence, and then it gets like a big, I think it's an AoE attack, yeah, and a cone when it uses essence up. So these are actually like the Forgotten are like the, I don't want to say like the evil versions, they're like a dark opposite of the Heritors. So the Heritors went to sleep, and the Forgotten, I think they didn't go to sleep or something, so they've been roaming around and they've kind of changed. You can tell the difference because the Heritor units have this sort of white and blue kind of glow to them, and then the Forgotten units will have like a red and black kind of color scheme more often. Okay, so let's see what our random researches we got are.
Even the most rudimentary S-Tech mechanizes a lover's touch. One may drain essence like a smitten lover's strength is sapped by moments of flirtation. Bestow essence to empower test subjects. They become like lovers who ignore their needs, filled with reckless passion. This Heritor discovery meddles with the driving incentives of life itself. Dr. Richter Hart, Chief Medical Anthropologist.
Weird. That's a... Moving essence around between your units is apparently a little more intimate than I assumed. So this gives some unit mods that we can make good use of, like these S-Tech gauntlets that will give melee attacks a chance to apply energy drain, and then it'll give them also the ability to use energy to do an AoE attack that high impact staggers. This is actually not super great for our units because I think our melee units already had a stagger on their high impact stagger. Yeah, so that's not something we really need at this point, but maybe another unit can make use of it. And then the other random research we got.
Feel the life around you.
Oh dear, I'm not going to listen to that. Orders required. Oh yeah, I didn't move you all the way. What's this? Pickup. Holopad pickup. I didn't even see that. 15. Oh, nice. 15 influence is great. That's a nice jump start we're going to need there. Orders required. Let's go over here. And set production for Hennepin. We want to build... Okay, so let's take a look. So every city can build one of these central core units. So every city can build only one of these. Either you get extra energy, which is basically money, food, production for making things, or science. So what I probably want to do with this starting city is I probably want to do production. It's usually the best option in my opinion, unless you look around and see that your city is going to have trouble with food, which I'm not. And a lot of times if my starting city like this has food next to it, I will grab those up, and then this city will, once I get to 16 population, I'll set it to giving away its food to other growing cities, and so it will basically boost other cities' growth rate by having lots of food. So I like to do that. I typically don't make my starting city a military production city if I can help it, because usually you'll be able to settle a city somewhere else that will make use of some of these structures that will give bonuses to units. Your starting city usually doesn't have a lot of those around. What does this one give? This one gives the Learning Center. All non-mindless units produced in this colony gain 25% experience from all sources. Not my favorite landmark, but it's okay. So I think we'll start with the replicator factory, and then I like to take this off auto, and you can get a person in a couple turns if you set them all to food right away, and it doesn't impact anything else really. So we'll do that, and yeah, Planetfall objective report. We can win by unifying everybody, we can kill everybody off, we can enact our doomsday tech, or if the invasion happens, we can conquer the invasion. And is there a research? And there's a score game, so there's a score, so like if we get to turn 200 or 250 or something, then the game will end. I have some strategic doctrines. Target-friendly army is healed for 50% of its health, and all units gain 1 stack of essence charge in combat. Lasts for 1 turn on the strategic map. Uncover ancient secrets. Reveals the location of the nearest anomalous site to the target colony. That's cool. Yeah, anomalies are these things here. You send heroes over there, and it's like a little story event. You get choices most of the time, and you can a lot of times good stuff will happen, like you'll get lots of research, or sometimes units, and sometimes bad stuff will happen. But usually you have control over that. One time I had a unit go in there and wake up a what's essentially a pleasure bot, who like was then like her programming told her to follow around the hero that awakened her, and so as long as he had this pleasure bot in the army with him, he got like plus 400 morale, so he would crit all the time and do better in combat. And if she ever died, he would get a permanent 200 debuff to his morale. So that was a really weird situation. I couldn't decide if I should keep her with him or not, because like if you know, the risk of her dying was making a hero permanently weaker. I could have just set her to a city and just ignored the fact that I had her, but I kept her with him because it was just kind of funny. It was a really weird event. Alright, so we'll go ahead and end turn. Alright, look at that, only 20 minutes in and we've done 1 turn. Okay, so now we can go into our first combat here, which is very exciting. So we'll go ahead and hit these guys. Defender power is not super high. They have Echoes of Despair. Do you have a ranged attack? No, they're melee. So this will be... Okay, so we're going to have melee and melee. Whoa. This is new. Apostate. So these are like the dark paladins, I think. Like the dark versions of these Oathbound paladins. Dang, I want to play as these guys. Whoa, look how freaking cool that is. Blackguard. Chaos Blade. Enervation. The ranged attack. That's a big range attack. That's a tier 2. Cruelty. Okay. Oh, there's a large target. Okay, so this is one of those big battlesuit guys. 20% extra damage and has an 8 strength chance to apply immobilized when flanking, so don't let that guy get around behind. Okay, so let's do manual combat and we'll check it out. Loading a bit slowly. Buff around them. But I have to get in close because most of my units are melee. Okay, so let's take a look at what these guys do. Now they have Sinister Chorus. Sinister Chorus permeates the air around the unit. All non-mindless enemy units adjacent to this unit receive Sinister Melody, reducing their damage resistance by 2 and increasing their fumble chance by 20%. So being next to these units means you're going to take more damage and miss your attacks because you're upset. Okay, wow, this guy's cool. Look at that. Okay, so these are big. They just didn't seem that big when I was viewing. But yeah, that makes sense. This is a big target. Okay, so how's the best way to get in here? Normally, I'm more used to using the ranged faction. We'll go over here. I think we'll just kind of set up a little bit of a defensive line here. This one doesn't. Okay. We can't take cover, but if it's behind full cover, it gets a bonus still. Oops, I should. Oh, I wonder if it. Self and nearby. Okay, so let's see if it does that retroactively. So if I move in here, yeah, it does get the shield. Cool. We'll move the Serpian up close. You've got more health, so you're going to actually be the one that takes the initial few attacks. Here. They sound cool when they run. Okay, so that's going to be it for my first turn. I'm just going to kind of get into it because I have to run in and attack them, and I want the advantage of hitting them harder first before they do. Oh, what are you doing? Okay, didn't do a whole lot. Fumbled. A lot of spooky boys. That arc grenade. I won't really do a whole lot to them.
Operations ready.
You know, a big AoE, which would be nice. Now this one's in Overwatch, which means if I make a ranged attack or try to move away, it'll strike me back. Actually, it'll do that even if I make a melee attack, unless I stagger it. So what I want to do is either kill it, which I can just do here.
Enemy eliminated.
Okay, and then we're gonna throw this grenade here. A little bit of damage to everybody. What's this? Does this car explode? Yeah, it does. So I would have hurt my own unit if I had accidentally blown up that car. Do you have any sort of AoE? No. You do, but you don't have any charge yet. Probably should. Oh no, are you upset? Why is your chance to hit so low? In cover and defense mode. Okay, oh, that makes sense. So it might be time to just move in and do some smacking here. Can't get here because there's a wall there. Okay. So I can move over to here. 90% chance, so let's move in. Oh, the chance of hitting those guys is much worse. Oh, because the cover of this vehicle is protecting them, even though it doesn't look like it is. So we'll hit this one. I don't want to take opportunity attack here, so we'll just... So I'll take an Overwatch hit, but this guy can handle it. He's got stagger.
Enemy destroyed.
Slapping him with that, with his big, party fork. Okay. This guy hasn't gone yet, so we'll go ahead and do this.
As the Oracle foretold.
So this one actually heals itself when it kills stuff, which is cool. So he's back up to 50. So this is going really well. I'm just gonna get that. Ouch. Spoke too soon. Nice. Oh, fumble. Yeah, they're upset with this Sinister Chorus. Okay, so I want this one to kill this guy off.
Enemy annihilated.
Okay, so we'll move you over here. A hero. And we'll hit him with the oh, this isn't going to remove the Overwatch. It's got stagger. Okay, stab him. Okay. Flashbacks are more like blades
Outcome.
than stiff tight. Okay, so we won. A couple units leveled up, that's good. Guess it was enough for tier 1s to level up, but not for tier 2s. Yeah, everybody got 4 experience. Okay. Okay, upgrade commander. Oh, she did level up, okay. So I can give her... Okay, so I've not seen her unique, this faction's unique upgrades, which you can see are this color. White ones are available to basically everybody. Secret Techs, your class, which is Heritor for me, will have some that look like this. They've got their icons and their color scheme. And then these are new. Colony Lord, Agrarian Ideals. Always active. Food income increases by 10%. Happiness income increases by 20% if you're in the colony's domain. Disables the option of scientific method and energy efficient. So energetic efficiency gives production and energy income. Energy only if she's in the borders. Scientific is 10%. Cosmite income +4 if in the colony's domain. Wow. Now, I'm not going to get any of these right now because she's going to be off on missions clearing monsters, but future heroes I get, which I've got it set that I'll only get heroes from this faction. That would be really great because heroes spend time waiting in cities for units to be built or defending, waiting for an enemy army to come. So I think something like that for Cosmite will be pretty nice. That's a lot. Now, what else can I get? Hero gains Essence Harvest, allowing them to regenerate 1 Essence charge if they don't already have one when they enter defense mode. She has no way to use that right now. Essence Seeker, you have chance to drain energy from enemies. Doesn't stack with other Essence Drain effects. Probably don't want that. I'll probably end up giving her a weapon that does that or something. Intuitive Strikes. This unit has Precognition. If this unit has Precognition, it also gains 20% damage on all abilities. Wow. So you give her the ability, give her precognition so she avoids the next attack against her, and on her turn, before she uses up that precognition, she can just run in and hit for pretty hard. Trailblazer, while active, while in a vehicle, this unit has fast movement. Okay, well, now I regret not getting the vehicle stuff. Oh, because I could put her in like a battle suit or something. Okay, we'll think about that. While in a vehicle, gain 1 level of stagger resistance and +1 status effect resistance. So I'd have to get piloting in order to do that. But she came with... Didn't she come with something? Yeah, it's learned. She came with close quarters and vitality. That's why she's got the extra health and she does extra damage in melee. So let's give her, so I have 5 points to spend. 50% more experience from anomalous sites. We might grab that. I like getting that early. And we'll grab, okay. And we'll grab Deadeye, which gives 5% accuracy and critical chance. That one's useful no matter what she's doing. It's just nice to not miss as often, and get crits is really handy. So we'll do that. And then we're going to keep moving down towards the city. And then once this one levels up, which looks like it gained a population, so we'll, no, it didn't yet. Orders required. Just looking around, a bunch of, well, flying things and some subs. Tier 3 battleship. Won't be fighting this for a little while. Weird looking boat. Okay, and then we've got our other scout up here. Let's check out what's over here. Guy standing on a pickup. And okay. Set military research. So we have the Oathbound faction is here. Their weapon channel entropy is here. Their arc weapon channel research is here, and then the secret tech Heritor is here. Now, it looks like the 2 random techs I was given at the beginning of the game were both Heritor, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it kind of fast tracks me down this track. Now, the thing is, I really want to play with the Oathbound stuff specifically since it's new, so I probably won't go into this super far. I might get the Siphoners at some point because they're pretty good, but I do want to play with, like, I mean, look at all these cool units. They have like Paladin Wardens, and all these doctrines. There's going to be a lot of stuff to read and check out here. And then in society research, which I also haven't started, river crossing. I probably want frontier facilities. This is a good one to get first just because early walls, I'm sorry, not walls. I think of them as walls from Age of Wonders 3, but they're militia. This will add militia to your city so you can not worry about leaving your cities behind. For when neutral units show up. They won't be strong enough to beat this tier of militia. So we'll probably grab this, and then happiness is nice. You gotta keep your happiness up or your population stops working. And if your happiness is high, it kind of accumulates, and then you get bonuses randomly, and they can be quite big. You can even get Cosmite from those, so that's like the special resource you need for higher tier things, and a lot of mods. And then in military, in this game you actually research society and military at the same time, which is a really cool idea, so you don't feel like you're stuck, like you can't research the cool fun new units because you have to research the keep my happiness up stuff. So let's start with this one. I don't know what it does, but I want to get to these cool units and test them out. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So that'll be the end of this episode. Thank you for joining me. I know we only got basically 1 turn done, but yeah, I'll see you in the next one when we will keep exploring, fighting some more things, picking some stuff up, and testing out all this new cool stuff with the Oathbound faction. So I'll see you then.